Police say high speeds were largely to blame for this crash that killed 36-year-old Bonnie Elam. Police told us a car was speeding by another, trying to pass on Shadeland when they rear-ended and hit a pole. It seems like we share these kinds of stories a lot. And if it feels like you're seeing a lot more reckless driving these days, it's not your imagination. In some cases, cars speeding 100, 150, even 200 miles an hour on the same roads you drive every day. And tonight, 13 Investigates has the video to prove it. Our chief investigative reporter, Bob Siegel, shows how online evidence put a habitual speeder in jail, but couldn't keep him off the road.
In a town known for racing, you expect to see 200 miles an hour out here. But not there, on the city's main highway. For the first time, you're going to see video that landed a central Indiana man in jail. It all takes place on 465, not far from the airport, and that is a Lamborghini. The dashboard says it's 2:52 in the morning as the speedometer climbs to 140 miles an hour, then 180, and moments later, 200 as the sports car flies northbound on a major highway. And it's still gaining speed. Just how much faster did it go? Well, I'll show you that in a moment. But first, it's important to point out the driver thought this was so cool, he and a friend captured it all on video and posted it to social media. Only for a short time, but long enough to catch the attention of 13 Investigates and Indiana State Police.
Do you remember what went through your mind when you saw the video the first time?
Wow.
Brandon Fletcher is the state trooper assigned to investigate.
It's not something you see every day, let alone a Lamborghini, but also to be going that fast on the highway. That's beyond the realm of acceptable.
What disturbs this state trooper the most, the other unsuspecting cars and trucks on the highway, just a few feet away as they're being passed at over 150 miles an hour.
All it takes is somebody changing lanes or you to lose control of your vehicle for even a second, especially at that speed, and it's not worth it. People should be held accountable for it when they want to put other people in danger.
Investigators found more online videos of this Lamborghini and quickly traced the car to Gabe Slayman, an auto mechanic with a long history of traffic violations. 13 Investigates obtained his driving record. It shows since 2005, Slayman has been caught speeding 24 times. 14 of those ticketed for driving at least 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, 3 times for driving at least 40 over the limit, and once more than 150 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Here we have an exact location.
According to the speedometer in this video, Slayman's car reached 213 miles an hour. State police had to figure out if that number is accurate.
Our crash reconstructionists are able to calculate the speed based on the timing that he passes those mile markers. So not only do you have what they're documenting in the video, but also what we can prove with math.
That math showed an actual speed of at least 198 miles an hour, more than enough to get the attention of Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears.
Have you ever seen anyone driving that fast on the highway?
No, I have not. And just a regular speeding ticket wasn't going to be sufficient. We needed to do more than that.
Mears wanted to charge Slayman with reckless driving, a criminal offense. But even with this video, how would prosecutors prove who was actually behind the wheel? Investigators found the evidence they needed on social media. A few days after posting the video, Slayman boasted on Facebook, "I needed a good stretch of clean road to pull it off. I can't imagine what those people I passed were thinking. LOL."
Was this a slam dunk case?
Yes.
This summer, Slayman appeared in court where a judge found him guilty of reckless driving. The sentence, 10 days in jail, nearly $700 in fines, and the BMV classified him as a habitual traffic violator, suspending Slayman's driving privileges for 5 years following this latest violation.
There's no place for that in our community.
That's why special reckless driving patrols are now common in Marion County. Prosecutors and police say they're trying to crack down on the type of crazy speeds and aggressive driving that's a growing problem not only on the highway, but also in neighborhoods.
It's horrible. we can't sleep at night.
You know, we've seen a significant increase in the number of these cases. It impacts all of us. It impacts everybody who's on the road.
It is something we're seeing more.
And more reckless driving means more injuries and more lives lost. Last year in Indiana, crashes caused 932 deaths and nearly 4,700 serious injuries, both record levels. And behind the statistics are always real people, like William Rice. He survived this awful crash, but his best friend Chris Bell did not. Police could not tell 13 News exactly how fast Bell was driving along this 45-mile-an-hour road, but his friend in the passenger seat could.
About the point of impact, we were probably going about 100, 110. Speeding will take your life.
With so much at stake, it's no surprise drivers like Gabe Slayman get their license suspended. What might surprise you, he's still behind the wheel. Despite the 5-year suspension and 24 speeding tickets, this habitual traffic violator sued the BMV to get special driving privileges. A judge granted them. So on this day, Slayman left the Hamilton County Courthouse with a court order allowing him to drive to work, doctor's appointments, and to church. Late-night joyrides, they're not included in the judge's order, but you still might see this driver on a local highway.
465 is not a racetrack. It's not designed for that. And to go out there and drive that way has real-world consequences for a lot of people.
Gabe Slayman told me he won't talk about his speeding cases based on the advice of his attorney. But he did say most drivers on 465 go faster than the speed limit. And he said many weave in and out of traffic, driving more recklessly than he does. IMPD is still out looking for reckless drivers. This year, they've issued nearly 1,200 tickets as part of Operation Slowdown.